Hey guys, this is Captain Rule reporting for you for the top and bottom 3 comics of the week for November 23rd, 2022. Alright everybody, for all you new people to the channel, hello, welcome. In this video, what we do is, in this series, is we review some comic books. I pick out some. I don't pick for any particular reason. I'm not picking for finding the bad ones so I can crap on them or anything. I pick stuff that I think has potential with, or ones, characters I really like, and try to muddle through even if they're bad. And what I do is I rate them all on a scale of 1 through 10, 7 being average. And I give you my top 3, my bottom 3, as well as scores and reasons why, as everything in between in the middle. Now for this week, I only read 7 comics, so my number is pretty low. So since I only read 7, I'm going to start with the middle. I've never done that before, and if you hear noises, that's my papers, that's my notes. So my first one I'm going to start with is the middle. And I'm reading All Out Avengers number 3 as my middle issue with a 7 out of 10. I thought it was okay, but it was land art. And if anybody knows Greg Land, you know you're in for some copying. Yes, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get copying, and that's for your artwork. But it is an action-filled story, and it does move the main story forward. So once again, I gave this issue a 7 out of 10. Alright, next, before I get to the top though, I want to take a moment to say thank you to these people here. Without them, this channel would not be possible. They help by subscribing to Subscribestar as well as Patreon, and they continue to help me be able to do these things. Without them, once again, this would not be possible. So thank them. If you want to help out too, you can do that as well by supporting the channel with just a simple one-time donation down below, or join my Patreon or Subscribestar where you get special stuff just for you. So check it out. Alright, so let's go to the top of the heap now. These are my top. You gotta hear my papers. There we go. My number 3 for the top was Dark Crisis, the Dark Army one-shot. I gave it a 7.1. You know, this one surprised me a lot. I thought a little bit higher of it than I thought I would with a 7.1. It had different art styles throughout the book. I'm not a big fan of that though. So the art was a mixed bag, if you will. It was a fun story though, and a very cool cast. It was nice. It really was a nice one-shot. I did enjoy it. So once again, 7.1 for my number 3 pick for the top. My number 2 was Daredevil number 5 with a 7.3. That's once again Daredevil number 5 with a 7.3. My notes here, let me go check there. Oh yeah, solid art. I thought it was an interesting story. I know this isn't for everybody. I do wish that Marvel would stop, though, making the U.S. agent being a joke. In this issue, once again, U.S. agent is used as just somebody to thrash around. And I think this character is better than that and deserves more than that. If you remember in his inception, he was a rival for Captain America. And they just make him like he's a joke that anybody can knock out. They've even shrunk him down really muscular size over the years. Once again, I think I understand what they're trying to do with this character, and I don't like it. I think that they could do a lot better job with this character. Alright, with that said, my number 1, this is what I think you should get, is DC Vampires number 11. Yeah, DC Vampires number 11. This is an interesting series. I'm digging it. We've only got 1 issue left, and we have to ask ourselves, is Supergirl going to be the one to save the day? I'm enjoying this series. Yeah, I think the whole thing has been good, and if you didn't get it from the start, you might want to wait and see if you can get it at trade at this point and get all 12 issues. Alright, so now that we've had my top ones, now the ones in the bottom, the ones that you probably want to avoid. Alright, so here we go. So as we go to the very bottom, we're going to number 3, and that's, here we go. This one surprised me that I hit here, and that is going to be none other than Avengers Forever number 11. I gave it a 6.9. Once again, it's Avengers Forever number 11. Mediocre art. I don't like where this story is going. I don't like what they're doing to Ghost Rider. I'm not a big fan of this storyline at all, with all these multiple versions of characters. I never have been, and it just doesn't do it for me. 6.9, you might like it, not for me. Here we go. My number 2 is The Amazing Spider-Man number 14 with a 6.95. Boy, Amazing Spider-Man getting this low really surprised me. I didn't like this one. The art was a mixed bag and with different styles. I didn't care for that. I think it took away from the issue. It's a story building issue, but I'm not a fan of the writing of this particular issue and where it's going. We really didn't have any Peter Parker. It was all Ben Reilly, which is not necessarily anything wrong, but I just don't like this kind of story with them. I tend to like my Spider-Man stories more grounded in reality or street level with an occasional event, and this just sort of, I don't know, almost like jumps the shark. But I know, comic books, you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. But this one just didn't do it for me. And the bottom of the barrel. Ooh, the stinker, the turd floating in the pool. This one is rough. And that's Tim Drake, Robin, number 3, where I gave it a 6. Now, before anybody starts hollering at me, I'm a huge Tim Drake fan. And so this series has continuously been a terrible turd pooping all over my poor Tim Drake. They've changed him. And it's not just because of the sexuality. It's this book is horrible in every way. The art is consistently trash in this series. It is awful art. Terrible. And the story isn't much better, though I will say this is a little better than last issue story-wise. This series continues to be bad. I cannot see this series lasting long at all. It just keeps being garbage. Not a good series. I don't like it. I don't like what they're doing with Tim Drake. I mean, look at how they draw the characters in this issue. It's just terrible. Not for me in any way whatsoever, but that's me. I'd like to know what were your top and bottom 3, or if you had any disagreements with me on those, that's okay too. Let me know your thoughts. I want to hear them. I want to see what your thoughts are as well. And you know what? I think we can all do it a little bit civilly, can't we? I hope so. And until next time, everybody, take care and keep it frugal.